Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Kuli and today I'll be showing you how to crochet this little baby overall dress or romper. I really don't know what it's called in English. Yeah, so in this video, this is part 2 of the baby set. I will only be showing you how to make the overalls, okay? In part 1, I've shown you how to make the top. So I will leave the link to the video in the description box below. Remember to check it out so you can make the full set for your baby. Okay, this set is for a baby of 0 to 3 months, but I have shown you in both videos on how you can adjust to make for any size. Okay, so I will not be showing you how to make the bows in this video because I already have a tutorial on that, and the size of these bows is exactly the same size of the bows I made in that video. So I'll leave the link to the video in the description box below. And also for the heart, I have a heart tutorial on my channel, but the heart I made in that video is quite big for this top. So I will show you again briefly on how to make this smaller size for this top. Okay. So we'll be needing 100% acrylic yarn, double knit, and I used 100 grams to crochet the overalls. We'll also be needing 5mm hook to crochet everything, 2.5mm hook to weave in the ends, needle and thread to attach the buttons to the skirt, yarn needle, scissors, some stitch markers. These are just extra pieces of yarn that I have laying around, 2 buttons, and also we'll be needing a sample top or skirt that we can use to measure, to get the perfect measurements for the baby's waist. Okay, so I'll leave all the details in the description box below. Remember to check it out so you don't miss out on any information that I'm going to share with you down there. Okay, and also remember to subscribe to my channel for more videos like this and hit the notification bell below so you can be notified every time I upload a new video. I really hope you enjoy this video. So yeah guys, let's get started. To begin, we are going to start off with our waistband. Start with your slip knot, then you chain 6. To make a chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now we are going to add an extra chain for turning. For row 1, we are going to make half double crochets across the whole row. So to make a half double crochet, we yarn over, insert our hook in the second chain from the hook. That's 1, 2. We don't count the one on the hook. Insert your hook in the second chain from the hook, pull up a loop. Now you have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3. So you continue to make half double crochets across row 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Chain 1 at the end and 10. For row 2, we are still going to make 6 half double crochets across, but in the back loops only. Okay, so the back loops are the loops behind here. So instead of inserting our hook in both loops like so, we are only going to do it in the back loops. Okay, so yarn over, insert your hook in the very first stitch there, the same stitch we made your chain 1, but in the back loop only. Pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. So continue to do the same thing along the whole row. 3, 4, 5, 6. Chain 1 and turn your work. For row 3 again, we are going to make 6 half double crochets along the whole row, but in the back loops only. Okay? Chain 1 and turn your work. So we are going to repeat the same pattern until we have about 35 to 36 rows. Just make sure that the number of rows you make fit around the waist of your baby. Okay, so your waistband will be covering this waist area, so just make sure that your number of rows fits around the waist of your baby. So make 6 half double crochets for every row. At the end of each row, you chain 1 and turn your work until you have made enough rows to fit around the waist of your baby. So I'll meet you back here once I finish my waistband. I've finished making my rows and I made 36 rows. Okay, so now we are going to mark off our right side. Just take your stitch marker so now we are going to join the 2 sides together with single crochets. Okay, so at the end here we chain 1, then we turn our work. So just make sure that when you join, your right sides are facing each other and your wrong sides are facing out, because we are going to turn this waistband inside out later like this. You can join however you like. You can use slip stitches, you can use your yarn needle, but I'm going to join with single crochets. So just take 1 stitch from one side and match it with the same stitch from the other side, then you make a single crochet. All right, so now we are going to chain 1 and turn our work inside out like so. So we have made our waistband. Now for row 1, for the skirt, we are going to make single crochets around the whole row. Okay, so you can make 36 single crochets around, like 1 single crochet in each row, or depending on the number of rows you've made, but I'm just going to make a single crochet in every hole that I can get my hook into. So I'm not going to make 36 single crochets. Okay. So just continue making your single crochets and we'll meet back here at the end of the row. I've reached the end of round 1. So I'm going to slip stitch in the first single crochet that we made earlier. For round 2, chain 2 and turn your work. Now we are going to make two double crochets in every single stitch around. Okay, so 2 double crochets together in every single stitch around. We start with our first one in the very same stitch that we made our chain 2, so we are going to count our chain 2 as a double crochet. Okay, so we move on to the next stitch. You make 1 double crochet, then you make another double crochet in the very same stitch. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So continue to do the same thing up to the end of the row here. So we'll meet back here at the end of the row. I'm done with round 2. So now I'm going to slip stitch in the first double crochet or the chain 2 that we made earlier. Now we are going to chain 2 and turn our work. This chain 2 counts as a stitch, as a double crochet. So now for round 3 we are going to make 1 double crochet in every stitch around. Okay, so continue to make 1 double crochet in every single stitch around, and we'll meet back here at the end of the row. I've reached the end of round 3, so I'm going to make my last double crochet in the very same stitch we made our chain 2 earlier, and then I slip stitch in our first double crochet or in the chain 2. We chain 2 and turn our work. So this is what we have so far. So for round 4 up to round 16, we are only going to make 1 double crochet in every stitch around. Okay, you can decide to add as many rounds as you would like, depending on the length of the skirt that you want, but I'm only going to make 16 rounds because this is just for a small baby. So for round 3, we've already chained 2, and this chain 2 counts as the first double crochet. So we are going to continue making double crochets around, 1 double crochet in each stitch. At the end of each round, we slip stitch, and then we chain 2 and turn our work until you are satisfied with the number of rounds that you have made for your skirt. So I'm going to continue doing that until I'm done with my 16 rounds for my skirt. Okay, so I'll meet you back here at the end of round 16. All right, I've reached the end of my skirt. I'm just going to do the last double crochet in the very same stitch that I made my chain 2, and then I slip stitch. So now I'm just going to chain 1 to secure and cut off my yarn here. Just leave a tail that is long enough to weave in later. There we go. We are now done with the skirt. Now we are moving on to making the straps. To make the straps, start with a slip knot and chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Block off the last chain and add an extra chain for turning. So for row 1, we are going to make double crochets across the whole row. So we yarn over, insert our hook in the second chain from the hook, then we make our double crochet. Then we continue to make double crochets across the whole row. 3, 4, 5, and 6. So for row 2, chain 1 at the end of row 1 and turn your work. For row 2, we are still going to make double crochets across the whole row, but in the back loops only. So yarn over, insert your hook in the back loop of the very same stitch where you made your chain 1, and you continue to make double crochets. Chain 1 at the end of row 2 and turn your work. For row 3, we do the same thing, double crochets in the back loops. So for row 4, this time we are going to make half double crochets. Okay, but we are still going to make them in the back loops only. Chain 1 and turn your work. So for the next rows, we are going to do the same thing we did for row 4. Half double crochets in the back loops. You chain 1 at the end of your row and you turn your work until you have made 45 rows in total. Okay, so only the first 3 rows will be double crochets. The next rows will all be half double crochets, but remember to make all of them in the back loops only. So I will meet you back here once I've completed all my rows. I have reached the end of my strap, so I'm going to chain 1 to secure and cut off my yarn here. So leave a long tail that is going to be used to join the strap to the skirt. So just be sure to make the strap for the other side. I mean the second strap. I already went ahead and did mine to save you some time. So now you're going to take a skirt. This is the back side, as you can see the line there. I don't know if you can see because of the color, but anyways, this is the front side. Okay, so we are going to take our straps. The side that has a long tail is going to be at the back because we are going to attach the straps at the back. Okay, so now just make sure that you are in the middle. You can fold your skirt in half like so. You can even just count the rows to be sure. So we have 1, 2. So I'm going to put mine right here to cover these 2 rows. Okay, so in the middle I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. About 10 rows. You can just use your stitch markers to mark off the rows that you're going to put your straps so that you don't get confused in the end. But for me, I know that is the two rows here and there. So now I'm just going to take my yarn needle . Then you start joining the strap to the skirt. You can just join however you like, as long as the strap is securely attached to the skirt. All right, now just make sure that your strap or your tail is hanging from inside. Okay, so you can keep your work neat. You can just weave it in. All right, we are done with the first strap. Go ahead and do the same for the other side, and we'll meet back here to show you what to do next. I've attached both my straps, as you can see there. So this is what we have so far. So now we are just going to add the other little things, the buttons and the bows. One way you can do that is take your top. Don't forget to check out the tutorial or the video on how to crochet this top. The link will be in the description box below, like I mentioned earlier. And then this will just help you on where to place your little bows. Okay, it's entirely up to you. For these bows, I'm not going to show you how to make them in this video. I have a tutorial on my channel which you can check out. The link will also be in the description box below, like I mentioned earlier. So you can just see where the bows look cute, whether it's down here or up. It's entirely up to you. Okay, once you attach your bows to your straps, using your yarn needle, then you attach your buttons to your skirt. Okay, using needle and thread. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that, and I'll meet you back here once I'm done. Okay guys, I'm done attaching my bows and the buttons. This is what I have at this point. I've attached mine in such a way that the buttons are hidden. Okay, so I really hope you enjoyed this video guys, and please remember to subscribe to my channel and remember to hit the notification bell below so that you can be notified every time I upload a new video. I'll be uploading a new video every week. Okay, so thank you so much once again, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.